Good evening and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join me, Oxford, on the show this evening is the King and the Queen of Rangers Radio, our Linda and Bridgeman. How we doing? Linda, how we doing, Bridge?
Evening, Oxford. Evening, Bridgeman. Evening to all the listeners. Hope you're all keeping well.
No, can I say a big good evening to yourself, Oxford, and of course your technical team in the background, and you, Linda. Big good evening. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. I'm really happy with a 4-1 victory. Very happy. Now we just step forward and do that again next weekend. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Linda?
Yes, I'm okay. I've just about recovered from Rangers putting us through the mill again, Ox. But it's a regular
checked that your chainsaws in your shed?
They've been removed.
All right, okay. How's the bridge?
I'm okay, pal. I'm okay. What can I say? You're getting a hangover for yesterday, and most Rangers fans have. Some of us, to be honest, are saying, well, we've seen all this before, because we have rotten teams, or rotten players in our team, and it affects everybody. But, you know, we won 4-1. I'm happy. I'm delighted with that.
I think sometimes, we're OTT with some of our criticism, myself included, Linda. You know, you just want the team to play well. We won 4-1 at home against a stuffy team who have beat us already in the league and are well set up. However, we didn't play a lot of football, did we, if we're honest, Linda?
No, and I just think the way that the team's been playing is affecting us as a support, because we're thinking about the next game, particularly in what we need to do. And I know we're trying to make it one game at a time, Ox, but you just want to have a bit of confidence that they can go and do something. But they're not filling us with that, with the way that they're playing. And I still go back to the point that we were talking about before, is that if we don't shell the 5 points against Ross County and Dundee, we're okay with that type of performance, because it's simply...
you'd be delighted.
Yeah, it's about getting over the line, Ox.
Aye, you'd be delighted, you know, because it's all about the 3 points. Right, Bridge, an eventful game. We'll start running through it. It was an eventful game and a strange game, yeah?
Very much so.
All right. So we started on the front foot, and the ball broke out of the box, and there's a coming together between Sterling and their their left back. For me, it wasn't a penalty kick. That's my opinion. I think I try and be fair. I didn't think it was a penalty, but what was infuriating was the length of time, Linda, yeah? Yeah.
A degree, Ox, I didn't think it was a penalty. I think there's certain handballs that aren't penalties, and I know the whole rule around that is another discussion, but no, I didn't understand why they told the ref, they thought that the ref should go to that, to be honest. I didn't think it was a penalty, and I think it was an unnecessary delay, really.
We'll go to Bridge for a totally unbiased view. Bridge?
In my opinion, it was never a penalty, in my opinion. I do think, though, that young lads got a reputation for being kind of tough and strong and so on and so forth, young Sterling, and the referees can easily go another way on that, other than Rangers fans' view. But seriously, I thought the referee had a nightmare of a game for himself. But I think that decision taking, I don't know how long it took, maybe 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. And it was just shocking. I mean, the game just started.
I know they've got to look at it, but it was the length of time and what they're looking at, Linda. I know what brushed his on. For me, it wasn't a penalty. Other people might see it differently, but obviously I would have took it. But I didn't think it was a penalty. Linda?
No, I didn't think it was a penalty, Ox. They talk about the arm being in or a hand being in an unnatural position, or looking to make yourself bigger out with this silhouette, isn't it? It's a coming together. What can the guy do? I mean, totally agree, Ox. No penalty and an unnecessary delay.
Aye. So we're in top without doing a lot. You know, we're huffing and puffing, but we're no fantastic. And then they go down the park. I reckon it might have been the first time they were in our half with any attacking presence at all. I'm trying to think. I don't think so, Linda.
First time, first attack.
Aye. I mean, literally, the first time we were the halfway line with the ball in any possession as such. The boy Armstrong, I thought Barner was poor and didn't think Cantwell helped him much, and then the cross was put in. And then, well, Linda, the cardboard cutout of yours was like a cardboard cutout, let's be honest. And Tav, I think Tav was lucky, because if it hadn't been a goal, I think Tav could have been taking the walk with he was there later on. And you come, Linda.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ox. There's a few points of failure, isn't there? There's the cross coming in. There's Barisic, and I think Silva is a bit lazy and not trying to close the guy down as well. First cross into the box for sure. I think Butland has to come and get that. I think it's the sort of cross that he was coming for earlier on in the season, Ox. I don't know why he didn't. And then at the back post, it's comical, really. Goes in off Tav, and you're right, perhaps it might have been a sending off and a penalty that hadn't gone in, but the types of goals that we concede are quite incredible week in, week out.
Oh, I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously we lost the last game at Ibrox. We played in the league. We lost a goal in the first minute. Butland and Tav again. At St Mirren, Tavernier chested the ball down for the boy. We could have conceded then. Up at Dundee, we lost a goal where we could have, their player could have scored. And Ross County, in the first minute, the boy managed to put it out of the bar when it was easier to score. All in the first attack, the teams went up apart. You know, so there's a problem with switching on at the start of games, Bridge, and it has to be sorted because it's poor.
Yeah, I think our fullbacks are very poor, as we know, defensively. They're not the greatest defensively. I thought that Borna Barisic should be utterly ashamed of himself getting pushed off the ball at that point in time. You know, he should never have been. He ended up, the boy who pushed him away, and the guy ended up, shall we say, goal side him. And seriously, Borna was rubbish at that point. The cross came in, and I don't blame Butland for not coming, because I think he probably got a shout from Tav, I've got it, that kind of thing, you know. But Tav never had it. Tav, back post Tav, murder Polis.
But
why didn't he just let it?
If Butland doesn't come, Bridge, he's got to stay in his goal.
Correct. I understand. I think he was just covering. But the truth of the matter is that Tav's probably shouted and thinking he had the ball, but they didn't really realise the guy was that close to him. Because I think Tav was going to let that ball go to the park. He thought it was going to the park, in my opinion. But there you go. You turn round and bang, there it is. The guy gets to the ball and he tips it in. And of course, Tav just handballs it straight in the net. Amazing. Just amazing. And how Rangers, and I mean this sincerely, in general, to everybody listening, how Rangers could be so poor at fullback after all the years of great fullbacks that we've had. How can we accept it? But the two of them, Barisic and Tav, are great providers up the park in general, or have been, scored great goals themselves in the past. Just murder Polis at the moment.
Cross pause. By the way, when you think back to it, Linda, bizarrely, we maybe got a bit of luck that ended up in the back of the net.
You're probably right, Ox. We obviously could have been a man down and then a penalty that probably they would have put away. So anyway, but yes, you're right. Maybe we were a bit fortunate that it did actually go in, but it didn't feel like that at the time.
No. So we scores a goal and everybody's thinking, is it going to be one of these days? And then Lundstrom plays a ball into Silver. Good move, decent move. Silver comes in and goal, chips it sort of out of the keeper towards the goal. There's a coming together in the right on the line, basically. Stirling gets there and it comes off the boy's arm on the way into the goal. No, this time I was looking for a penalty, and obviously it was initially ruled out for offside. Another decision the officials have got wrong when we've scored the goal and involved with forward play. But we'll come to that later, Linda, because I think you've got a cracking start. Right, so it then goes to VAR again. This is the third decision going to VAR because we've already had another penalty come goal. It was chopped off because Dessers was miles offside. How that had to take so long, Linda, is beyond me also.
Yeah. As you say, Ox, it just seems to take forever. They're trying to rule out any possibility as to why not to give the penalty. They're checking for offside. I don't know whether it was even close. I don't think it was. But they go on, and then obviously we get the penalty. And I agree with you. It was actually quite a good move initially. I thought Silva did quite well with his touch and played the ball back across. And it's come off the Kelly player's arm. It's going into the goal, so he has to go. People might think it's harsh, but it's a penalty and it's a red card. All
day long when you see it back, Bridgman.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a handball into the net. There's nothing you can say. You can make all the pleas you want. There's nobody did that other than the guy. That's the way it was. I thought that to think that to even check if Silva was offside, I can understand with the linesman and the referee not getting it. So a quick check along the lines: was the guy offside or not? Simple as that. No, he wasn't offside. Okay, there's no other decision other than a penalty and a red card. There's no other decision. It's all you can do. I don't know what they were hoping for, the Kelly people. I don't know whether they expected some miraculous decision that it was the Rangers player that handballed it. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I just find it all weird, just weird. Offside decisions should take seconds. Get the lines up, bang, there you are. You're not ready with it. Is he offside? Look at it. Get the line up. Aye, he's offside. Done. And no arguments then, because there's the lines. But they should be showing these lines on the screen at Ibrox or wherever they are. It should be coming through.
That's a good point you made. We'll come to that when we're finished again, mate. A real good point you make. So we get the penalty. James Tavernier steps up, hits it well enough, and I'm going to disagree with Albert. I have watched it back, and I think it's just a good save for the Kelly goalie, who's behind the line, moves forward, and makes a good save. But we missed a penalty again, Linda.
Yeah, I think that's 3 out of the last 5 Tav's missed. Yeah, I think I agree with. When I heard Albert, I had a look at it, and I think the guy's within the laws there. He times his move forward just perfectly, I think, and it's a good save. I don't know what you think about. I mean, Tav usually goes to that side ox, but he's usually got enough whipping the ball that it goes into the side netting. But see, because the goalie commits so early, if he takes a wee look up, he could almost have had time, and I know it's easier said than done this, that he could maybe just pass it into the opposite side.
You must have been some player, Linda. You see,
I thought if he'd looked up Ox, he could have just placed it into the opposite side.
He should have done what I would have done. I would have pirouetted, turned with the back, heeled it another corner, no?
There wasn't enough height on it either, but listen, we can't be too critical. He scored some really pressure penalties as well, but
aye, but they 3 penalties,
yeah,
could go a long way. But anyway, so we missed the penalty. You're thinking, oh, here we go, Bridgman, eh?
Mm-hmm. Look, as soon as we got the penalty, and you watch Tav, and you think to yourself, look, he's just made a clown of himself a couple of minutes ago and gave an own goal away. I mean, should we not be himself? Should not be taking the pressure off himself and saying to Silva or somebody else, take a penalty. I'm a wee bit nervous or whatever, No, he took, and the ball was far too low for him. Far too low. The keepers want to go down low because that's where they're going to go on. If the guy's going to, I'll go right, and he's going to go right down low, because that's the only way a goalkeeper can go. He can't dive up the way properly, So as far as I'm concerned, Great. By the way, great save. As it turns out, a great save. But Tav should have put that in the top of the net, roof of the net. I don't understand why he's changing it all the way along the line. Just leather it. Top of the net. Or even halfway up, Just get it in. Don't trundle it along the ground.
I don't like halfway up, mate.
I know.
I think you had a bit lower to the top. But
you need, if you're going to go low, you need to go hard.
You
didn't hit that ball hard. You didn't hit that ball hard.
Putting it down a good save. I've had some correspondence already from Mr. Albert. I won't read it out because there's ladies present.
I think he still disagrees.
No doubt. Never doubted he would for a minute. Right, okay. So we missed the penalty and I'm thinking, it's going to be one of the days. And you could feel it. You could feel it in the stadium. So the first 22 minutes, it lasted about an hour and a half, Linda.
And I think that's what's putting us through the mill, isn't it? We just want to turn up sometimes.
It was getting dark. There was only 22 minutes gone.
You would have been people would have been making their way to the food stalls already with the way how long that game was going. It's just that
I never thought of that. That's a good point you make.
Yeah,
Why'd you get the pies ready?
I know they were probably all burnt.
But anyway, so Kilmarnock changed their shape slightly. We got a lot of the ball. And if I'm being honest, Bridge, we never really looked like scoring, did we? We have to puffed.
You're right. No, we were very, very poor in front of goal. Very, very poor. I think that I know we're going to speak about Dessers at some point.
Oh, yeah, we'll come to that, mate.
I think he is instrumental in the lack of goals. Let's put it that way.
His link-up play wasn't he? We've seen the other side of Dessers. It wasn't the Hampden Dessers. It was the Dessers we all know. And I was going to say love, but that's maybe not right. Anyway, so just before half-time, Stirling goes down the right with the ball, plays it down to Lundstrom, puts a decent ball in, and the boy Silver sneaks in at the back post because he did sneak in there, Linda, and just angled it into the far post, one each, just before half-time.
Yeah, great finish from him. Took it well. It wasn't an easy chance. The way that it came over, it was a good ball in, and he tucked it away nicely. And not so sure about the celebration. I know there's been a lot of debate about that, but I just think sometimes you need to back that up big time. But if he scores a couple of goals next week, I'll forgive him for it.
Yeah. I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
We'll put it down to youthfulness. good goal, but you're spot on, Linda. Good goal, Bridge. Good time to get the goal. Huh?
Wonderful time, because I think apart from his happy as falling asleep, trying to follow the game, I think a good, well taken goal. I mean, he sneaked in behind the fullback, and that's the boy who used to play for us, isn't it? Aye,
young Mail.
Aye. So you get in there and lovely pass, passed it past the goalkeeper, and I think he did the most ridiculous thing he'll probably ever has done or ever will do, is to run. No matter what side of the park he goes to, he should never ever have done that. That's wrong, just wrong. He's never kicked a ball the whole half. Then he goes and does that. But I can understand he wants to celebrate. But I think he could celebrate a wee bit differently. He doesn't need to do that, not in the park. And I hope the manager told him that at half time. So
we get the equaliser, and we're walking on my nerves. They're down to 10 men, and we got at half time without anybody standing out. Silver maybe involved in the 2 big minutes, the penalty for Tav, and he got the goal himself. Lundstrom was involved in the moves. I don't think anybody really shone, Linda.
No, there was no really any standouts at all, Ox. People, you said, some of them did reasonably okay. Lundstrom involved and Big Sterling as well. So, yeah, I don't think there's any standouts, and it's just the way that they're performing, really, isn't it? It's just the same for the last few weeks, and the level of performance, it just leaves a lot to be desired, really.
No. So the second half starts. We start with a wee bit more tempo, if I'm honest, Bridge, yeah? We're moving the ball a bit quicker, which pleased me. Just slightly, because with 10 men, you've got to get it from side to side. You're tearing them out, and you're also looking for space, Bridge, yeah?
Absolutely, and you're right. But I think one of our problems is that well, the people we've got out wide aren't quite on form for that part of the pitch, But yeah, we wanted to start moving it, and we did move it with pace, and we found our outside people, and they tried their best to do what needed to be done, and that's get the ball over and as quickly as possible. It became more and more obvious that we weren't that great at that, but we ended up sort of narrowing it down a wee bit and trying to go through the middle and things like that, and it wasn't working properly for us. I don't know why it doesn't work, seriously. I know they've got the guys up there, so. But difficult, very difficult, and I didn't think anybody who was a massive failure in the first half, other than the own goal by Tab. I thought the own goal by Tab was absolutely ridiculous. Really and truly, just ridiculous, but never mind. I thought that our defence were not the strongest. None of the four of them. I probably gave them 40 out of 100 for the first half. That's all I was giving them. And as you know, it continued like that in the second half for a big chunk of the time.
I was getting annoyed watching the game with my midfield, mate. I've been saying this for a while. When Lundstrom comes deep and Canwell's up near the centre forward, ineffectively, we've no midfield. And I know what he's trying to do. I can see it. He pushes the two full-backs up. They're in front. Lundstrom's meant to be slightly forward in the centre halves. And then you've got Diamondi in there. I get it when we're in possession. But in reality, the full-backs are getting left isolated. They're no influence a lot of the game. Tav comes inside when he used to go outside and causes the space. And that's not his game. We've seen Tav enough through the years to know. And our midfield's isolated. And all we ended up doing at times, particularly in the first half, but we'll move on to the second half in a minute, Linda, was long balls. And I was finding it very frustrating because you've got guys there that you're hoping they can difference makers. Cantwell, and hopefully Diamandi grows into it. And then if he's on his day, the boy Silver can make things happen. But we went through long balls. But when we started the second half, we moved it a wee bit quicker. Lundstrom was a few yards forward, and we started pinning him back. But when we got to about an hour, just before that, Dessers had a couple of opportunities when the ball goes in the box, Linda. And don't know what he's trying to do. I really don't know. Yeah. There's tons and hits. Yeah. As a pivot. This try to always edge past players and all that, it must have cost him about 10 goals this season because he's not got shots away.
Yeah. I don't know why he doesn't just hit it first time. There was the classic example that it was played on. I keep going on about this whole thing about him, this right foot. There's a ball played through the channel to him. It's on his right foot. He just needs to swing his leg at it. And there's nobody set. The defence aren't set. The goalie isn't set. He cuts it back on his left side and runs into trouble locks. And you're right. There's a good 10 to 12 times this season that he's done that, and all he needs to do is just put a first-time shot towards goal. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go in, all these shots, but he's not even getting a shot away with what he's doing. He's a frustrating player, Ox. He really is. And I know he's got the 20 goals, but, how many chances has he missed? And it's cost us. It really has.
So, just when we were getting frustrated, Bridge, out of nothing, a corner kick goes in. I think he takes a move. It goes to John Lundstrom, who has a shot. The goalie saves it. And an unlikely hero appeared who had replaced Leon Balogun, who got injured with a back injury at half time. But we'll go into that at the end. And Ben Davis puts in the goal, Bridge.
Delighted to see that, and delighted for him. Like as you were saying there, a mixture of wide passes for during the whole first half, and then all of a sudden there was a wee dinks over the top, let Dessers run onto him, and Linda says he could have scored. Well, you said he could have scored an extra 15 goals this season. He could have scored 10 goals in Saturday alone. We're playing against 10 men, right? And it was a big centre half. It was off, So they're one of their strongest players, and he's off the park. And for goodness sake, Mr. Dessers, what are you doing? 3 times, maybe 4 times, he's done that fancy thing, trying to turn the ball and put it onto his left foot or his other foot, whichever the case may be, and get a shot at goal. Completely crowded out the time he gets anywhere near it. And he's come in for all the space. He just needs to shoot. A swerve and turn, bang. And if he hits the post, he hits the goalkeeper, whatever it does, then we might get him in with a chance. But no, not the way he's playing. I'm sorry. I think we spoke about Dessers for a wee while at the beginning of his term at Rangers. And I maybe for the 4th time I said during the game, that guy has got absolutely no confidence whatsoever. He's got to be reading the stories about him, the press.
I disagree with you, mate. I think he's got bags of confidence.
No, I don't think so. For somebody to do that, no, I'm sorry.
I think he's got bags of confidence. He's not got the ability to back
well, that might be it. But I mean, if he can do that and he's trying to do it in a big game, a huge game at Ibrox, and his home ground, and he's not getting it, why do it once, twice, 3, and then 4 times? Why do it? Bring other people in. Sorry.
He should have. Look, we're not saying he should have scored, but he's got to get a shot away, and he was close to the goal, Linda. So if he gets a shot away, he's got a good chance of scoring. What he does, you have no chance of scoring, because I think Kilmarnock come away with the ball about 3 times when he was messing about with it. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
And it can get a deflection or anything and go in, Ox, because they've got so many players in the box. As we've seen, the goalie could parry it or anything. I don't know. This isn't just obviously a couple of times he's done this. He's done this continuously throughout the season, and I don't know if they're working with him, or I think at one point Clement maybe had a go at him with one of the chances. I don't know if anybody seen that. They had a wee bit of a sort of exchange of words. And I think eventually he kind of just calmed down. But I think Clement was saying to him, why, just hitting that first time.
Aye, so we get the goal. Aye, you're right, and I'm sure people might come on. That could be a big talk point. So we get the goal, and then we make some substitutions. A few minutes later, we bring on young McCausland and Tom Lawrence. I wouldn't have took John Lundstrom off. I thought young Diamandi had run his race. But little did I know, Tom Lawrence came on, and then that was the highlight of the game. Dessers was involved in that. Bit of hard work, a bit of endeavour, and the ball broke. Goes straight to Tom Lawrence, a great dummy and a great finish, Lindera.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. And I think that's the sort of thing we were expecting more from Tom Lawrence. I think when we signed him, I know he's been unlucky sometimes with injuries, but there's times in certain games he's just not showed up. But that's the sort of thing he's got in his locker. He can shoot, and we needed it. It was just giving us a wee bit of breathing space. It's a fantastic goal and right into the top corner, and I hope Tom has got a couple of them for before the end of the season, Ox, because to see a goal scored like that, that's what we saw in years gone by, and we don't see enough of that type of goal at Ibrox just now.
Aye, good goal, Richmond, good goal.
World class, absolutely world class. The 2 touches of the ball, and then put it away. Just fantastic. At pace, running at pace, 2 touches of the ball, and away it goes. Bang. I love it. And he was a real hero. He just came on the park, and people are going like, oh, well, look at this. Oh, my God, what a goal. And they lit the whole place up. The guys that were sitting sleeping during the football type thing, woke up. Here's Mr. Lawrence doing it. And for some reason, I just don't remember his name. But my God, I remembered his name last night. Seriously. Wonderful, wonderful goal. And thoroughly deserved by him. Thoroughly deserved. Great lead-up play and a great shot. Great shot.
And here's where my frustration started, Linda. We went 3-1 up. Yeah. We went 3-1 up. And they were done. They'd run their race. And we just stopped playing. all the tempo went in the game. We broke the sub-zone. We with 11 minutes to go, we made the changes. Yeah. And the game just went in walking pace. And we know, I think we left, I said it yesterday and I'm still sticking with it. We got the fourth goal in the 93rd minute with John Suter headed that in for another shot, with goal we parried. But I think they left a couple of goals out there. I think they were gone. And if we'd have kept going at pace, there was meant to be hunt. I know that you take 4-1, it's a game of football. But we stopped playing when we got the third goal. And I think there's something just no right. Yeah, I don't know if they're just no aware or they're just, that was enough for them. I don't know, but there was another couple of goals to be had, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree, Ox. And why are they doing this? As you say, what's the reason for it? I know the manager's been asked about goal difference over the last few weeks, and he's saying it's not a conversation that they would be having until it really comes into play. And I think he said they might be talking about it now. They should have been talking about it before the game. They know they've got 5 goals to make up. You should say 3-1. I seriously do not understand it. You're texting your family members, you're having exchange in WhatsApp, and everybody's saying 3-1, let's get at least another 2. 3 even, because you're right, they're dead on their feet. I don't understand it, Ox. I really don't.
We just took all the tempo again. We stopped going forward, and obviously we got the goal. In fact, Kamala came into a wee bit for the only time in the second half. I don't know if the substitutions didn't help his bridge, or he just took my foot off the gas and then kind of get it going again. I couldn't put my finger, and I found it very frustrating. In fact, when Tom Lawrence was celebrating his goal bridge, I was like, stop celebrating and go on with the game.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of saying that as well. We loved the goal, we loved everything about it, but let's go on, we get some goals. And everybody the same thoughts, is just all the same thoughts, and you're thinking, why not do this and why not do that? And then all of a sudden, Kilmarnock come back into the game with 10 men and start passing the ball around like that's the way we should be playing, against 10 men, and we should be filling their half of the pitch with our bodies. But no, they're doing it with their bodies and our half. Oh, just shocking to see, just shocking.
I was quite happy when I seen them start to try and come forward, because I thought, all right, we get the ball, we can attack at speed. We've got the extra man that should work in our favour, but it never landed. Obviously, we get the fourth one right in the death, but I just felt we left a couple of goals out there.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And I think it's been something that's been on our minds, this goal difference. Obviously, we've still got a game to win at the weekend for that to matter. But I don't understand it. It's a common theme. It is a common theme. We don't score enough goals. We know that, and we were always saying that it possibly could come down to it. It could matter. But you're right. You score on the 72nd minute, and you don't get the next one until 90 plus 3, and it's one of the centre halves. And thank goodness that him and Davies did get the goals, Ox. But I'm like you, I can't understand why you don't go and push for a 4th, 5th and 6th goal there.
Aye, potentially. Anyway, man, put yourself in mute, mate, when you... Yeah?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I just seen it.
Put yourself in mute, yeah. Right, so we won 4-1, and I suppose we're really critical with the team, but before the game, if in a normal circumstances, you'd be delighted with that result, Linda.
Yeah, and I suppose, Ox, after the first half, you're heading up to half time and it's still 1-0, and you're thinking, right, I would just take any victory now, because if we'd went in at 1-0, you're thinking, what's going to happen? They'll regroup. But I think getting that equaliser, it kind of knocked the stuffing out of them a wee bit. But I do understand that, that you would have taken any victory after that first half. However, getting ourselves into that position, we're a wee bit disappointed that we didn't get a couple of more goals, because we think, or we hope, that it could come down to that in terms of if we get a good result at the weekend. However, 4-1, we just need to move on to the next game now.
Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do, Bridge. We're going to hear from the gaffer, and then we'll get the phone lines open, yeah?
Excellent.
Let's hear from your gaffer, Philip Clement.
Philippe, what were your thoughts on the game today then? A bit of a crazy start and a big turnaround in the second half.
Yeah, crazy start. We did a really good start of the game. We were fast, we were strong in the duels, we were winning the duels, we were playing forward, we were creating chances. The VAR thought we should have had a penalty because he asked the referee to the screen. Apparently the referee didn't agree. It stays a difficult rule for me because if I look back, the penalty we get against Kilmarnock a few months ago here, and this one, then this one is much more clear. So you need to accept that moment, that decision, and go on. Then you have the situation that the first ball in your box, it's a goal in a really unlucky way also. So then you need to react as a team, and that the team did. That's also what we are working on already a long time, and they did already several times this to come back out of a difficult situation, and we kept on pushing, and that we did all game long to get the best result, and that's 3 points against a team of Kilmarnock that we know, and we spoke about that stat before the game. Since 3rd of December, they only lost twice in the league, and that was against Rangers and against nobody else. So to do that 3 times in a row, I think it's a huge achievement.
In terms of the comeback, you know that at this stage of the season, every game for you is a must-win. Do you feel that coming back after conceding that early goal and not getting the VAR decisions, coming back and showing the mentality, does that show that you're going to be here and fight till the very end?
We're going to fight until the very end, but I didn't need that game for that. I spoke about that also last week. I spoke about that after Dundee, when we were all disappointed about the 2 results. And that's what the team did. That's what we all did together. Because for me, that's the basic of being a team. And to become a good team is to never give up. So we've been talking about that for months. And the team did it already several times. So they know they can do it. And we will go on with that mindset until the last second of the season.
Philip, do you have any frustration that the team didn't score more goals?
No, frustration is a really bad word if you score 4 goals. Of course you want more goals. Of course you want that, like every manager. But I know also that a lot of teams struggle against a team of 10 who are all defending to create chances, to create these opportunities. So in that way we did a lot of things good. We scored also really good goals. We missed a penalty also, so it should have been 5. And yeah, efficiency is never perfect. Yeah, you have maybe 1-2 games in your career as a manager that every chance was a goal. I didn't have this moment yet until now, so I'm hoping that maybe next week or the next couple of months it will happen once. But I don't think many managers had that situation in their life, in their career already.
Have you spoken with your team about the importance of goal difference yet? Has it come to that stage yet, or is that something for the last couple of games of the season?
I think it's now the moment to speak about it. If we focused on that before these games, it's not of big importance, because then you focus on more and more and more, and you forget first to win the 3 points. It's about that. It's now for next week to go full to get three points. It's about that, and then after we can speak about those things.
Is Liam Bannigan injured?
Yes, he was injured. That's why I had to replace him. Was not the idea.
What is the injury?
No, it's I hope a small muscle injury. I hope we will see the next couple of days. But he struggled too much to continue.
How do you feel about next week's game after today?
Yeah, that I'm looking forward to that. And to be honest, as a manager, I would love that it was tomorrow instead of next week, but it's not so good for my players maybe that it's tomorrow. So you're really hungry for that game. So 6 months ago we were 7 points behind. Now we're 3 points behind, and we can come equal. So the team did already a lot of steps, and it's now making the next step.
Philippe, yesterday Brendan Rodgers said his team are looking to have a bit of fun in next weekend's game. What do you make of those comments?
That it's something that I would never say about an opponent, but okay, we will see.
You think that's mind games from him?
Mind games in what way?
I don't know. What do you think of the comments?
That it's not really respectful towards my team, that I think. So I will never say things like that about an opponent.
How pleased were you for Ben Davies? He hasn't played since December. He comes on, scores a goal the next moment for him.
No, and I've used his name also last week or the week before in the press conference. When we spoke about Connor and injury, and that Leon and Ben have been working hard last weeks after their injury to come back, and that I was, it was an unhappy situation for me that I could not give them the minutes because we were struggling in the offensive positions. And I had to make every time changements there, and I knew before the game that I had to make 4 changements. So you cannot change then center back to start with somebody that you don't know if he can play 90 minutes. So I'm happy that I could give him these minutes, but he's there now because he's been training really well all this time and been really professional. And I have to say that about all the squad, that everybody's been working really hard last couple of months. And then you get the reward to be ready also to step into a game and to have confidence and to have quality, because a lot of trainings are even more difficult than some games for the players. So they rise in their quality in that way.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Mr. Fox. I'll not give the classless individual. We've heard them twice this season. Once trying to get results, VAR decisions, which was proved it was VAR, and then he starts his silly crap trying to wind the manager up. But we'll leave that alone. But I think he summed up the game quite nicely. Linda?
Yeah, he did, Ox. Interesting, some of the points he made just about, as we said earlier, maybe the goal difference starts to come into play. Quite interesting as well about Ben Davies, because we've been speaking a lot about how he just seemed to disappear off out the picture altogether. But actually, Davies himself said in his interview, Ox, that he actually had a concussion injury. I don't know about you, I wasn't aware of that at all, because nobody was really asking about him in the press conferences. I thought he did well, Davies, and he might need to play next week. So that's a good 45 minutes under his belt.
Aye, and I think, with the greatest respect, I like Big Leon Balogun. I think it should be shake hands at the end of the season. He'll know what you're doing if you have to play him between now and the end of the season, but we need fitter, more robust players. Anyway, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
How you Evening, guys. How you doing, Linda?
Hi, Robert.
Guys?
Hi, Robert.
Hiya. I just want to agree with Linda about Dessers and talk about Bonavasic. He actually gave away the goal because he went in too weak. He got the ball back, but it was a weak challenge, and they got it back off him, and they crossed it over. But I want to agree with Linda about Dessers. He's missed at least 4 shots on goal, which means the goal difference could be completely different. Because although he has scored 20 goals, how many goals has he possibly missed? Because there's one game where he's actually missed 4 attempts on goal. It's ridiculous.
What I will say, there was no guarantee he would score because the goalie was there. But what frustrated everybody was the fact he never even got a shot away. I'll let Bridge come in on the Borna one, and then Linda can come in on the Dessers one. Huh? Bridgeman, I agree totally with Robert with the Borna with the first goal, yeah.
100%. I've said this about him. He always ends up with the person attacking him, instead of pushing him out to the wing or leaving him outside, all that nonsense. Give him outside, but don't ever let him pass you. And there he did it. He lost a strength. It was a strength, pushing and pulling between 2 men, and he lost out on it. and he ended up possibly 2 or 3 yards away from the player on his bum. And in my opinion, and that's the way I see these things. I don't see them. It's quite cut and dried. The guy beat him for strength and beat him with luck as well, because it could have been the end at all. But seriously, that leads to the goal. And if you look at what's happened on the left-hand side, our left-hand side, with the left back getting caught out like that, and the ball comes across, and then the right back is caught out as well. So your two full-backs will let you down badly, really badly.
Linda, on Dessers, I agree with Robert also. He should have shot.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And Robert, you're right. In that one game alone, he's just not getting the shots away. But when you look at him across the season, you said he's got 20 goals, but he could have had, and I'm just talking about clear-cut chances that we would consider a striker to be scoring maybe another dozen goals, Robert. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. And then on top of that, you've got other chances that he could have done better with as well. Every Rangers fan, I think, feels the same, that he should at least have 30, 35 goals under his belt. No doubt about that.
Yeah, because, they played him through, like you said, he actually hit the ball with the back of his foot instead of just letting it roll past him, because the ball was between the defender and the ball, which meant when it was fed through, he could literally just put his laces through it. But no, he wanted to turn. The header was too weak, and he put it past. And there's been so many times where he's tried to go round a player and just hit the keeper. It's stupid, There's goals that should be there but aren't there.
I thought he was poor. I thought he was poor at the weekend, Robert. I did that. I thought we praised him at the game at Hampden. He got a couple of goals that day. His play was okay, but I thought he was poor. His distribution was poor. His link-up play was poor, and his touch was poor. And obviously, he didn't get these shots away, which is frustrating me.
When you're sitting in the stadium, you're like, hit it. No, he goes out. Then you're like, just hit it. And he doesn't. He wants to dance about and lose the ball, and the defenders just kick it away. And he's like, thanks very much. He puts his thumbs up. He's like, what the,
When the second one happened, you could hear it for the stands, Linda.
And the thing about that is it's difficult to mask your disappointment in him. And he has scored some important goals. He's won his games. He's got his points. He's got his to a Scottish Cup final. We do understand that. We appreciate all that, but we want more, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's just because all through the season we've all been saying this is going to cost us, and ultimately it could be proved to be correct. We just don't expect it, and I know there's strikers in the past that have missed chances. A striker doesn't score every chance, but the percentage of chances that he misses we can't go on next season with him as our only forward. It won't happen anyway. But I don't know about you, Ox, but he's had to play all the minutes as well, so we have got to give him a bit of credit for that. He has been the one fit sort of number 9 that we've got. He wouldn't have played as much if maybe Danilo hadn't picked up those injuries. So he's played a lot more than I think he would have.
Robert?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Roof is on the bench. He would have probably put at least 2 of them in. We hit the crossbar as well. So you've got Silva hitting the crossbar, Desser's missing 4. Yes, Silva put it in at the end of the first half, which was lucky because Tavernier missed a penalty. I don't know why he is always taking the penalties. He should have let somebody else take the penalty after putting the goal, making it an own goal. And I don't know why Butland didn't come out for that cross, because at the beginning of the season he was commanding that entire box and nobody was getting near him. Now he's staying back on the line, and the Coasters are coming over and they're scoring from them. And I still don't understand why Butland didn't come out for that cross before he even got to that player.
He was in no man's land, mate. He was actually outside his goal on the touchline. I don't know what he was on the bit.
So why?
His feet movement were poor. I think you'll not be alone in thinking Tav shouldn't be on the penalties. I think that's 3 out of 5. You said he's missed, Linda.
Yeah, 3 out of 5, Ox.
Aye.
3 out of 5, and the rest.
Just recently, Bridge.
Oh, seriously, Linda.
When the shots that Dessler should have had, I'm not saying. I mean, there was players between him and the goal, but he was about 8-10 yards for goal, Bridgeman. He's got to get a shot away. We're not saying that he should have scored 100%, but he's still got to get the shot away. Yeah.
In his dreams, he would have been putting away 6 or 7 chances on Saturday. We're playing against 10 men, and we start these lovely wee chips onto his pace, and he's getting the ball. You see him getting the ball, and then all of a sudden you see the ball coming away from him, and it's not a shot at goal. It's coming away from him. The ball's getting taken off him, or he's fallen over the ball, or he's kicked it forward, or something stupid, And that he's going to have a nightmare. He's going to have bad dreams about that game. That was a dreadful game for him. Seriously. I mean, I reckon he could have scored if he would have been on top of his form and given those chances. I reckon he would have scored a bloody sight more than maybe half as many as he scored this season in the league. So he could have got 5 or 6 goals there yesterday easily. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Oh no,
yeah, I agree with that.
But to be fair, listen, he wasn't even though he wasn't great. I don't think the forward line particularly worked. I'm a big fan of Big Sterling, as you know, Linda, but he had a lot of endeavour and he was one of our better players on the day, but he doesn't look cultured out in the wide areas, does he?
No, and he's doing his best, isn't he, Ox? He's using his strength to try and get round a player out there to maybe create something, and at least he's getting himself involved. I thought McCausland did okay when he came on. But see, when you look at that forward line, you look at the 3 playing behind Dessers. Look at who's missing. With the wee boy Cortez we brought in, he gets injured. Seema's out again. We've no got Matondo. I mean, what the manager's having to deal with just now, and we've been saying it on numerous occasions. Danilo, aye. It's if you think about that forward line, if you had Seema, Cortez, and Danilo to let leash in some defences, you would be really looking forward to seeing that. So I know what you mean, Ox, with the forward line, but he's not really got a lot to choose from just now.
I think that's one a biggie with us Rangers fans anyway. Well, certainly the guys I talk to, we're mystified. Just that like Linda said there, you've got 3-4 really, really good players who can't get into the first team because they can't get into the squad because they're injured. And the injury, I don't know what they are. Maybe self-brought on, or bad tackles or whatever. I just can't believe that we're stuck, and we've been stuck for a number of months now. So he's doing really well with shall we say, journeyman players that are there who sometimes hit form and sometimes don't. And I think Desser's a prime example of that. He's just not hitting the form when it's needed. And let's hope next week he comes out and he gets rid of all this bad luck and he actually does something at Selby Park. I really do hope so,
Robert, would you say it'd be fair to say that Dessers is a Jekyll and Hyde centre forward?
Yeah, because one minute he's having a good game, and the other times you don't see him and he's missing absolutely everything.
Oh.
It's literally a case of, depending on how he's feeling, he can literally not see him and then pop up and score a goal, and he's perfectly calm, and then he over-tries and he continuously misses every single shot he does. I think he's trying to do too much. Instead of just putting his foot through it or overplaying it, he just tries to overplay it. And when he doesn't overplay it, he scores a goal. That's the reason that he's continuously missing, because I think he's trying to overplay and make it look good instead of just putting his foot through the ball like Lawrence did. Shift it onto his right and just leather it. Even Lundstrom outside the box had 3 shots yesterday, and 2 of them went over and 1 went past the post. It was close, but it went past the post.
I thought he was a wee bit unlucky with his side foot, man. It just went past the post. Lundstrom, if I'm being honest. I thought that was in initially when he shot.
Aye.
That's my point with Dessers. I think there's... I think he doesn't lack confidence, Bridge, if that makes sense. But he lacks the ability to back up his confidence.
It's somewhere along that way. That's the way I feel. I just feel when you see someone doing that once, you think, oh, what an idiot, they could do better than that type of thing. And all of a sudden, a couple of minutes later, similar position, and he does a similar thing, and it doesn't come off. And then the next one doesn't come off. And then the mistakes start to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that. And it must drag it. It's not very often you play in a team where one of the players is so badly out of form. That's being honest with you. So badly out of form that the crowd don't even want to see him. That's the truth. They don't want to see him.
Start singing London when you went once. I was waiting for you to go twice.
No. I just think the crowd were laughing when his first time he done it, second time, and a wee laugh, and then the third time, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they were shouting, in my opinion, shouting to the manager to get him off. Even then, and of course you're not going to do that because he can mistakenly create a pass for himself. He hits the ball hits half him, and all of a sudden
he was involved in the third goal. It was his
yes, I'm saying that. You get these times when, by mistake, sometimes it's meant, but by mistake the ball lands at his feet, or he sticks his foot out, and he manages to touch the ball on, and somebody picks it up and lays it in the net, so he gets an assist with it. I'm only going in yesterday's form. I just don't see how Dessers can command a place at Ibrox. I remember many, many years ago, you guys, none of you remember this guy, George McLean. Big Dandy. George McLean came to Rangers and he had been playing really good. And he came to Rangers and he was playing brilliantly. And for whatever reason, they couldn't get a goal. He just couldn't get a goal. And all the stupid things were happening to him. And that's what I feel about Dessers. Stupid things are happening to him. He's there, and you're thinking, why does he try to turn and score? Why? There's a huge big blocks of players in the box. Get free, have a shot at goal. Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. Have a shot. No, he wants to turn. And he's been doing that the whole season, trying to turn. It's not working.
You must do it. I gave you a line for assault there, Bridge. I thought you'd have been right in there.
What was that?
When you said once, twice, I thought you were going to 3 times.
I missed it on that. I did it once, 3 times a lady.
I thought you'd have been right all over that one, Bridge. I know you're quite good.
I do apologise. I'm not. After yesterday and watching some of the play from some of our staff.
I just want to point out something else for you. George McLean scored 83 goals in 119 games, mate.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to say, but he scored a lot of goals in a short space of time. And then for some reason, it stopped. And you wonder, because he was still a young player and still a great player, and a partner of Jim Forrest, and so on and so forth. And it turns out the two of them started missing goals. I don't know what it was. And they ended up pumping the two of them out the door. Disgraceful what they done to Forrest, but I wasn't surprised about McLean, seriously. However, I'm only meaning that there sometimes is a run on people that can put the ball in the net, and sometimes they couldn't score for love nor money.
Aye. Anyway, Robert, if you don't mind getting yourself on mute, because we're going to have a tune, mate.
No problem.
Going to have a tune.
As I was walking down the Coleman Road, I met a bunch of strangers. They said to me, are you going to see the famous Glasgow Rangers? So I took them up to Ibrox
why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Enjoy that one, Linda.
Yes, that was a good wee tune. Like that
Classic.
very much.
A classic. Aye, listen, as much as Dessers was poor, he was part of an ineffective forward line at times. And it's bizarre seeing that when you score 4 goals in a match, isn't it?
Hello.
Jim, I think we've been joined by our Jim. Evening, Jim.
Good evening, lads. How we doing?
Don't
I'm
forget
just,
the ladies.
I was listening.
Don't forget the ladies. James.
Oh, sorry, very sorry there. Sorry.
It's okay, hi, Jim.
Sorry. The queen of the show.
Enough about me. Carry on, Jim.
I was just listening. I'd be interested. The Dessel thing, mate, man. I still think Silver could be the winner for us at Parkhead this weekend. Even though he's another one. I thought yesterday was actually one of his better games. See, before I go any further, you probably heard me on here before champion my team that I'm involved in, Rangers football fans in training.
Yes, you have.
We actually, I don't know if you've seen the post on follow on Friday there, we actually became champions on Friday night there.
Oh, brilliant.
So we did.
Brilliant.
We won the league. We won the Warriors up in Premier League at the Friday night there, through in Edinburgh. 4-0 performance. But the guy here, I hear the Stevie and Southside going on about go bathrooms.
Aye.
Well, the big man, the pin, we call him in our team. I've not got any name him on here. He'll be sitting there already, but he'll know who I'm talking about. Stevie and Hingway's pal for go bathrooms. He's our anchor man in our team, by the way. Big G, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Aye, big man. The big man's. He's the main man in my team. The big man was the man of the match on Friday night there, by the way. I tell him, I said, I'm going on there to give you a mention on that. So I'm going to kill you.
Yes, we do.
Brilliant, man.
We're good friends. We go bathrooms too, by the way.
Aye.
We need the ticket for the last Old Firm game for us. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
I'll be getting down the sink, I think.
Jim, what did you make of that Saturday? It was a funny game. 99 times out of 100, you come away for a 4-1 victory, content. And we've come away,
I'm the same as you. I heard you yesterday. I can't believe we never pummeled them yesterday. They were there. By the way, it could easily have been. I heard somebody saying yesterday it could have been 6 or 7. I was actually thinking 8 or 9 yesterday, and it wouldn't have been. It would have been wrong. I've never seen a game in that first half an hour like that in my life. Watching Rangers, and I'm 57, and that was just baffling yesterday. The start of that game, that first half an hour in that game, to VARs, to whatever was going on in that match, I just couldn't get my head on it. But again, I thought we should have pummeled them.
When we got the third goal, I thought we should have went and played with pace. And ideally, you could have brought on Matondo and a bit of pace, but we'd made for substitutes before then, Jimmy.
Aye, I heard you making a comment yesterday, and I don't know if you can go on a wee bit more about your own about the management team. What is your issue? What is your fear of them? Do you have a fear of them?
I've got a slight fear that the players don't seem to be responding to them, Jim.
Well, I was thinking the other way that there was maybe an issue with them. But is this maybe this group of players is the issue?
You'll be able to judge. You'll be able to judge them come summer when obviously there's going to be maybe 8 players going out the door, and he'll bring in his own players, and then we'll see. Yeah. I
think the changes do need to be made. I know we keep on saying we can't do it, but I think they need to be made now, and I think the guy needs to be backed here. Again, I don't know how much he's going to be how much he's going to be backed to the sum of, but I'm pretty excited with him as a manager. But I think
there's a lot of
changes they need to be made.
There's a lot of wages going out the door, mate. Borna, McLaughlin, Barisic, Lundstrom, Balogun. and that's without any you get rid of it's excess, yeah, and that's just after
well, they think they're all going anyway, but I think there's a few other ones needing to be moved as well.
That's the hard bit, mate. That's the hard bit.
Aye, correct. I mean, there's some of them on stupid money, and one was a wee guy you were probably talking about there. I'm not going to go into too much, but I think there's changes need to be made for the good of the club.
Aye, you've got to keep evolving, Linda.
You're right, Jim. I mean, I think we went through a list of the players that you would quite like to keep, Jim, and there wasn't an awful lot of them on the list, on the show last week. But I think we're realistic, Jim, in the fact that you can't get rid of maybe 10, 15 players in the one go. And as Ox always says, the ones that are under contract, Jim, they can just sit and take the money, and you need to get buyers for them. But I don't know, Jim.
Linda, let me just cut across you. Robert, can you either put your phone on mute, please, mate? Cheers when you're not talking. I'll come right back to you, mate.
No, Jim, I was just saying there, I think we would like to see some freshness in the team, and there's players in that squad, in that team, that have been here far too long, Jim.
Oh, aye, 100%. Aye, there's a lot of players been in there far too long. But hopefully a few of them are going to be moved on anyway.
Aye. Jim, what did you make? We talked about this. By the way, you must be the only one that listens to me when I say something. Nobody picks up what I say.
No, by the way, I picked up on it, and it was see, the minute you said it, I was like, a big man knows something here. I thought something had maybe happened that you had a doubt with the management team.
No, just when I watched yesterday, my criticism was when it was the 70-minute mark, mate, and we stopped playing, yeah, and I never seen any activity, yeah.
You talking about the activity to the side of the park or activity on the park?
Both.
Both?
Both. I thought we stopped playing when we got the third goal, mate. We just stopped playing.
I just couldn't believe it, man. I'm screaming like a madman in the back of the Copeland Road, man. Get as many goals here. Because at the end of the day, it could be the goal difference here.
Aye, I think that was the point we were all trying to make, Bridge, yeah? Linda?
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And as you said, when we got that third goal, we were all just thinking, go on, get a fourth, fifth and sixth, because they were down to 10 men. I know where you're coming from. The manager at certain points this season has been showing a lot of urgency on the sideline, but I don't know why. He didn't seem to be sort of pushing them on. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. We're talking about that as well, Jim. They spent too much time celebrating the goals. We just wanted them to pick the ball up and get right.
Get back.
Get right back up to the centre line. I don't know. It's absolutely baffling how when you get the third goal that you don't play with more urgency to go and get more goals. I don't know whether they think that it's not going to come down to that either way. I don't know, but certainly that's been something that's been on our mind for weeks, Jim, is this whole the lack of urgency. It's quite incredible the way that they started to play about 3 or 4 games ago.
I don't know if it was so much. I think it might have been a wee bit more. It seemed to be after that Benfica game that kind of started to spiral for some reason.
The Motherwell game, Jim, we were talking about it last week when we lost 2-1 at Ibrox. I just think it was from then onwards. But at least we were still maybe picking up points, Jim. And then obviously the 2 away games when we shelled the 5 points, just kind of it just dampened everything for us, didn't it?
Yeah, big time. I mean, the Celtic games can go, it doesn't matter how good they're playing or how bad we're playing or vice versa. But these games can go anyway. But it's going to be interesting this weekend.
I agree, mate. I agree, but we've got to just get our house in order, Jim. And we've not got a lot of options, haven't we? We're struggling with players.
Oh, big time. How do you think he'll address this at the weekend?
Mate, there's 5 days to go, mate. We've got our 3 injuries before we get it again.
Well, that's possible, isn't it?
You know, I've never known it. Honestly, I don't think I've known a season like it, particularly with your forward players and that. and we've known a lot of suspensions. If you've been honest, you know, you've got Roof, who's no fit, coming back for a long-term injury. We might not see starting our game. You've got Danilo with 2 bad injuries. Silva twice, one away in international duty, and then he's not recovered. I think it looks as if it's his hamstring. Matondo's been in the team. There's all your forward players, and then you wonder how we can afford to. And then we signs Cortez, and he starts off all right, and then his hamstring goes to Rugby Park. It's mental, Jim.
Aye, it's absolutely, as you say, man, it's as if we're cursed in it.
Aye. Bad luck, whatever you want to call it. Is it preparation? Is it warm up? Is it training, Linda? Is it, you know, the hamstring ones worry me. When Danilo gets the impact injuries, you can't legislate for them, but the muscle ones, is that down to your conditioning?
I think Clement's alluded to that as well, hasn't he, Ox? You know, he said that fairly soon when he came in, that it was a lot, it was to do with what they did in pre-season. I don't know, like, you know, but imagine getting that wrong again. And he just said it would be different from come this summer. But I don't know, like, the SEMA one where he goes away, as you say, he gets injured, doesn't even kick a ball for his country, but gets injured in the training. He's maybe rushed, maybe he's came back, and it's just been he's maybe played a bit too much when he first came back, Ox. I don't know, but then our options were limited, so he's kind of had to put him back in. So I don't know. It just seems to be season after season we get injuries, and then Connor Golson, who obviously wasn't playing anyway the last couple of games, somebody falls on him in training. I mean, that you just, I don't know. It's extremely bad luck.
Have you known a season like it, Jim?
No, but see on the SEMA one, I seen a thing of a Fred on follow about that maybe a couple of weeks back there. Wherever he was out on loan prior to coming here, he had the same kind of issues for the same kind of injury, apparently. I don't know if you picked up on that one, follow.
No, I've not checked it, mate. I've not checked it. No, if some players have got hamstring issues, they have them. You know, see him as a guy he's a sprinter. He's got that electric pace when he goes, powerful pace. And if he's got a hamstring issue, mate, it's hard that affects you. You know, with sprinters.
I seen a Fred today on follow.
You must see that with Big G in the midfield.
Big man's never had that kind of injury, man. He's old. His old ankles and all that are beginning to go now, man. As I'm saying, the big man's been superb this season. Absolutely fantastic. But I call him a pin. He'll know who I'm or if he hears me talking. I'm surprised I've not had a phone call off him.
I'm sure he'll know by now.
Oh, he'll know.
the Northwest correspondent will be on to him.
Oh, well. Hey, listen, thank you very much. For aye. Big G, man. Right, I'm going to go. I'll keep on listening. Thanks very much for letting me on again.
Good to have you
No
on.
doubt I'll be back on before the weekend again.
Cheers, mate.
Hey, Bora, thanks very much. Good night,
Bye,
guys.
Jim. See you, Jim.
See you later, Linda. Bye-bye. Bye.
Top man or Jim. Right, okay. Where were we? Right, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. If you want to come back in, Robert, you're more than welcome. We were getting interference for your phone, mate. Noise for your phone. So, why? Everybody's feeling the same thing. Am I reading too much into it? But I don't think, by the sounds of it, Linda, I think you were similar when the third goal went in, thinking, right, okay, they're gone. Let's play at a tempo. Let's move the ball side to side. Let's see if we can get another couple. And that was my only frustration. And if it hadn't happened and they'd been kicked off the line and the goalie had saved them, you could have put it down to bad luck or bad finishing. But we've done neither.
No, you're right, Ox, and I think, as you say, you know, we were having shots continuously. I think Diamandi did hit the bar right enough. I can't remember at what point that was, if we'd already had the third goal by then. No, it was maybe 2-1 at that point. But you're right, we just seemed to take the sting out of the game. And the crowd, I don't know whether as well, you know, I think maybe, you know, the fans just thought, well, they've just took the foot off the gas. They're happy with, you know, they're happy with the scoreline the way it is. And then when John Souttar pops up and gets that goal, you know, that came from a Lawrence shot as well. So why weren't we doing that in the previous 20 minutes? I don't know, Ox. It just, there's a real lack of urgency about them as a squad and as a team. And I don't know, you've got a league to win. You're still in a chance with a treble, and it is still there. But as we said, the way that they've been playing over recent weeks is quite baffling.
Mr. Bridge, put your finger on it.
Oh, goodness. I think the ways we're speaking with Jim as well, and the thing that you said about we scored a third goal and then we just stopped. And that was, we stopped with the goalkeeper right through the team. It was just, everyone just slowed down to walking pace. 99 times out of 100, that's what they do when they're having a tough game. But they're playing against 10 men, and they were still finding it tough. And they just started to, whatever they did, shut down. Literally shut down, you know. And we should have gone on looking for at least 2 goals and an 2 against 10 men who were starting to struggle themselves pace-wise, you know. And then I think they did a triple substitution. Their manager did triple substitution to put fresh legs on the pitch, which they were quite right. But, you know, we just never did it. That's all. We just never did it. So I would suggest probably the last 20 minutes of the game, apart from the time when they scored the goal, like, you know. But the last 20 minutes of the game, it was just, it was as if it doesn't matter, you know. That's what I thought was going through them. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, we've been joined by Bob Ger. Evening, Bob Ger.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Bob Ger.
Hiya, how we doing?
Right,
Evening, Bob Ger.
Can I ask you all one question? Do you think you're looking at a Rangers squad that's gave up the ghost?
Nah, I don't think I couldn't fault their endeavour yesterday, mate. It was just some of the quality. I wouldn't have faulted their effort. And also, I've just sent a message for a wise man. It says maybe they were saving their energy because they know they're short of players and they were maybe just saving their energy. No, I can't put them. I can't pin that one on them, Bob. Linda?
Aye.
I don't think so, Bob Ger. I can understand why it kind of it feels a wee bit like that. But I, you know, I hope it isn't, because God, they've got everything to play for, you know, and they still have, you know, if they can just get over the line at the weekend, and they're going to be underdogs. I know we'll be touching on that later on in the week and stuff in the build up to that game, but Oxford might make a point there that they may be thinking about you know, what's going to happen next weekend because we're short in numbers, but the people that are still on the park, surely to goodness they would be thinking, let's go and get another couple of goals. It's the way that they play with that lack of tempo, Bob Ger. It's dead frustrating.
Aye, it's been like that for too long now, Linda. It's been like that the last 4 or 5 games. And it can't continue. It's got to be a performance in Saturday. Nothing else will do. What's the latest on the injury front? Anyway, what about Balogun? Is he going to be okay?
It's a bad back. It's a muscle injury. The manager didn't know what it is. We'll hear as it goes, Bob. If it goes, if it's true to form, mate, he'll not be fit, and that'll be us down to 2 centre halves with Leon King as backup.
Aye.
If that's the case, we've got a doing.
Eh?
If that's the case, we'll probably get a doing.
A doing for them.
Well, you're swapping one player. You're swapping one player, Bridge. You're swapping Ben Davis for Balogun.
I thought Davis looked all right when he came on yesterday. Whether he can withstand that game or not after not playing so long, I don't know. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. But look, you all know what the cry is, eh? Just go in here, do your best on Saturday. There's an unbelievable amount of negativity surrounding Rangers at the moment. Let's try our best, go out and prove it all wrong. Because there is, on the positive side, there is still a treble to be won here. There is, and you know, the media, I didn't need to tell you, you read it every day, you hear it every day. Well, let's go here, it's 90 minutes of football, we're Rangers, let's try our best and see how we get on. That's all we can do. I've never known a season like this for injuries.
No, never about. Linda?
Yeah, you're right, Bob. Yeah, we've just got to keep going. You know, this is probably the first time in a few seasons anyway that the last Old Firm game of the season means something, Bob. Yeah. You know, if we were to go and put on a performance, I'm not even thinking about goals. Just if you can go and win the game, it's the pressure that then puts on other teams. That's why it was so disappointing, Bob, yeah, that we dropped the 5 points when we did there, because the pressure was taken right off our nearest challengers, our biggest rivals, whatever you want to call them. And then obviously they're bullish now. There's chat coming out, etc., etc. And I would just love it if we could go there on Saturday. I know it's a tall ask. If we could go there and get any sort of victory, then the pressure goes back over to them. But at least we've kept it going, Bob. Jer, after that 5 points it was dropped, I didn't know what you think. I thought we were going to end up just going out in a whimper, but we've kept it going, and you just never know what can happen in football.
90 minutes, Linda, you're right. I exactly agree with every word you're saying then. But it's going to be a real tall ask for Rangers on Saturday. But we've been in these cauldrons in Europe and we've come out with victories. Is Seaman on your fitness? No, I don't think so. We'll just have to go with what we've got and see how we get on. It's as simple as that. That's annoying. It's annoying knowing that there is a probability we're going to lose it yet again. 12 out of 13, they're up to 54. We've got to get better.
We've got to go in there with the right attitude, Bob. This is not
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, you know the cry.
When we're going to look back, we're going to look back at the 3 games. That's going to be the frustrating bit.
No.
You know?
I know. That's all history now, though. It's down to Saturday.
It's
Saturday.
It's going to be a tough ask for our team, and there's no doubt about that. It's going to be 100% terrible for us on Saturday if we come out and do what we did Saturday there. When God knows what's going to happen to us, because we really need to be able to start the game very quickly, take the game to them, and that's put them off their stride. And that's what we need to do. We really need to do it. And obviously, as we've all said it, a win is a must. If we can't get a win on Saturday, then I think we might as well just say bye-bye to the league for this season anyway. But, I don't want to lose against them for historical purposes. But I do want to win. But the way we played Saturday doesn't raise the chances of that going high. I just don't see it. However, if we can stick to it and get the big man at number 9 to do what he's supposed to do and put the ball in the net, then you never know. You just never know.
I hear a lot of people go. Sorry.
On you go, Bob. On you go, mate.
I hear a lot of people going on about them as though they're something wonderful. 7 weeks ago, they wanted to sack the board, get Rodgers out the door, and sack half the players. That's the juncture we had them at, and now it's all fell apart. And we've got to pick it up again. Whatever squad we've got has got to go out here and try for the Glasgow Rangers. You've got that famous blue jersey on your back. You must try what we say, try your butt off. You've got to. As Bud says there, a win is a must. It's the only result that matters for us.
Yeah.
As long as they try their butt off.
Did you hear the manager start there? Did you hear the manager start there, Linda, in the press conference? He said Kilmarnock have only lost 3 games since December in the league, and it's to us.
Yeah, he said, I think they've only lost, including obviously, would that been 3 then, including Sunday's game? Yeah, that's right, Ox. It's only us they've lost to in the league. Yeah, beaten them twice. Is that twice they've beaten them?
Once the league, once the cup, and a draw.
Yeah, and a draw. Yeah. I wonder if he's trying to keep talking them up, and so that they turn up next Wednesday.
Well, you never know. You never know. You never know. Aye. Bob Ger, I mean, it's unusual for people to feel pessimistic when you score 4 goals, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. See, your supporter over, here's a word for you if it exists, really over fickle. We go yesterday, we scored 4 goals. I'm up the street today, they're bleating at me, oh, you got a penalty again. Christ, the boy punched the ball off the line. Punched the what do they want? Ken, what decision do they expect? Alistair Johnson punched the ball out of the park, but never got a penalty. But again, as I say that.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bob Ger. See the way he's
I'm
done
old.
that with that Sedgway he's gave you, Linda. You've got a stat for us, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Would you like to hear it?
On you
yes.
go.
Right, so we've got 16 penalties this season, Bob Ger, and
Right.
13 of them we wouldn't have got if it hadn't been for VAR. VAR basically directed the referee to look at the monitor, and 13 of them to give us the penalty.
So the point you're making, Linda, in live play, the referee has got it wrong 13 out of 16.
But didn't call it. That's it. Only 3 times on the part with the referee we were given the penalty. So the thing about that is, you can, whatever you want to say about VAR, it's there, and it's, thank goodness in those circumstances it is there, because if you remember just about the narrative, Bob Ger, around us, we were, talking about penalty to Rangers, and in my opinion, referees have been just not wanting to give us penalties. They want to leave it to VAR, and VAR will tell them if they've made a mistake. It's quite
So the point you're making, stop me if I'm wrong here, Linda. The point you're making is the narrative for other clubs, the other placement people in the media, has affected the referees, because at 13 out of 16 times the referees have got it wrong, which is scandalous, Bridgman.
Yeah.
Oh, Bridgman must be doing another show. And there's another stat, Linda.
Can I just speak on there? You wanted me to speak. Can I speak?
No, it's all right. You're all right, Bridge. We're live here, mate. We're live. Linda, there's
you
another
keep switching me off.
I'm no, only because of noise, and it's no me. Linda,
What noise?
there's another stat. Here's one. Since we had a penalty there, it's 2010. But when you read the placement people in the media, yes, you think it was every week. And if you want to see decisions that's wrong, look at there on Twitter and watch the assault that's not been mentioned in the press. Yeah, you missed that, Linda, didn't you?
Yes, on the Hearts player.
Yes. 13 out of 16 rang, Bridge. You never even got that in your English essay, did you?
I think whatever you want to say bad about our referees and the institution that they represent, and the whole kit and caboodle about the refereeing association, I'm telling you now, they aren't fit for the job. And admittedly, Rangers have tried in the past to put ideas forward and thoughts forward, and they've been sort of thrown away. Then that's fair enough. They're going to get thrown aside. But seriously, we're running a professional league with, in my opinion, what looks like actual amateurs. Now, yesterday's game was a huge game. I mean, absolutely massive. Where were the top referees for that game? You've got to ask yourself, where were the top referees? Because that referee, mind you, the top referees probably did the same thing. That referee must have had, 4 decisions to make, including VAR. I'm sorry, they're not good enough.
I'll tell you what's up with that referee, that David Dickinson. He can't control a football match, and he loses the plot. Yeah, and it was summed up yesterday, Bob Ger, where the the bounce ball. He couldn't even get that right.
Who did we have him? Who were we playing when we had him? Dickinson.
We had a game at Ibrox not that long ago, but we also had him away at Kilmarnock.
Aye, well, the game at Ibrox, he was an utter shambles, I can mind you that. And he come out and he made a complete Jeremy cell in the first 20 minutes or something. As you said, he had no control of the game. His decisions were all over the place. Even the Kilmarnock players were fed up with him. To me, I thought the occasion was too big for the boy. He should be refereeing amateur football or something, at best. And you've got him refereeing your games with VAR screens. No, sorry, the boy just wasn't up there. And your games for them. They're just no up there. The refereeing standard in this country, we've said for a long time, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Bob
That's
J,
no reflecting the way I feel about Rangers. Aye,
can I ask you a question, Bob J?
Yes, that's me anything you want, Paul.
When, you know, I don't understand, and I've said this for a long time now, I don't understand where the top of the range referees in Scotland are when it comes to Rangers playing at Ibrox. I just don't understand it. Where are they? No. Where are they?
Well, I don't think you've been fair there, Bridge, because that was a Sunday kick-off around about lunchtime, and they're all busy on a Sunday morning.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it? That could say it all. But seriously, it doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't matter when the game is. Rangers in general, Rangers will have a very a poor referee. You have a poor referee, and maybe instructed to have a poor game and kill the game, which the opposition are trying to do, and be on the opposition side. Your decisions are there. Don't stop them wasting time. Don't go and talk to the goalkeeper. That goalkeeper was lining the ball to the 5th minute. From the 5th minute, he was doing and just dropping on the ball and staying there. That's utterly disgraceful. Every part of the Football Association should have been saying, get that. Remember years ago, the goalkeeper got 30 seconds or a minute to clear the ball. Get that back, because that's just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
If the goalie wanted to waste time, he should throw it out for a corner. We take that long. That's another story. That's another story. Anyway, we've moved into the last half an hour of this show. And we're going to have to try and change the mood, Linda. We need to get behind this team. If it goes Pete Tong at the weekend, well, we'll get everything that's coming their way. But, however, they're our team, and we want them to put everything on the line. So, last half an hour, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Colbert's got back with his feet one on the line. I thought it was a good save. He's going to wonder me. He's going to wonder me.
And I wanted to have to put it in the other corner.
You wanted to be stoked, take it back, then put it in the other corner.
Back here. Look. The thing is, Ox, we do have to get behind the team, and we will, because it's just that I think it's difficult for us just now because we got ourselves into a position where we didn't expect to be when Clement came in, and after clawing back all those points. And then it was just those 2 games. Well, it's not just those 2 games. It was the 3 games where we only took the 2 points from the 9, wasn't it? Them at home and then the 2 away games. But since the Dundee game, we just says, right, let's go and try and win every game. So we've beaten Hearts, we've got into the Scottish Cup final, St Mirren away and Kelly at home. All we can do, Ox, is go and try and win the next 3 games and see where we are come at the, in terms of the league. Because if we can do that, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Aye. Saturday's games have been winning. And the manager, he's got a positive work out. A lot of these players, Butland, Davis, Bonner plays. And good to see Redvan back in the park. Tavernier, Lundstrom, McCausland, Dessers even. Yeah, These guys went away and bet us and won. They went away there and won. Let's be honest. You know, they've got it in the locker, Bob Chair.
Absolutely. I mean, I watched all that night in Betis. Betis were a really good side. They're well in there in the Spanish Premier League. They'll never win it, but they're a really good side full of quality players. Isco, for example, 5 Champions League winners medals. The boy's name ugly as a player. Rangers went out and beat them. I watched the Borussia Dortmund side there last week, and the majority it's the squad that we beat out in Dortmund. So it's there. We can do it. We can pull off big results. As I say, in Cauldrons away from home with the full support against you, this lot aren't any different. They're not as good as the team. They think they are, but they're not. So let's get out here and serve the Rangers and be Rangers. No some half, you know what I'm going to say, half effortless squad that's just going to lie down to them. Get out here and get in about it. We need it. We need it. As Bridge keeps saying, the Rangers, we're the supporters, I'm getting angry here, the Rangers supporters need you. Need you to turn in a performance on Saturday. Please do.
Yes, and remember, Linda.
Blood pressure down.
Blood pressure down. Remember, Linda, these guys are only 4 games away if they get it right. If we win in a domestic treble, and they'll be legends forever.
Yeah, it is. It's all there for them. You know, we've been saying that. And I know that it was just a case of, like, we couldn't understand the performances that they put in, but that is, Bob Jer, those games have gone now. I mean, in Saturday, you know, if everybody's fit, it's a different team that gets sent out there, Ox, right? But he's got to just deal with what he's got just now. It is a puzzle, but let's face it, our manager has numerous puzzles since he came in, Ox. But he's got to decide what team is it he throws out there. I would like us to take the game to them. However, you don't want to leave yourself opened so that they just catch you in the counter-attack. But what I would like us to do, Ox, is to try and take the game to them at some point and don't leave it too late. Don't find yourself 2 or 3 goals down by half-time or something like that. Go and actually do something that we've not done for ages. Score the first goal against them and then see what happens. See how they react to that.
100% agree with what Linda was saying there. It's going to be, when we start, we've got to start well. I hope we start well, and don't linger. Just don't linger in a game like that. There's far too much at stake. It's your local rivals, and that's a powder keg of a game at any time. Never mind given the situation that we're in and they're in, because they're going for a double, and we're trying to get a treble. So it's a really tough game for both sides, I must admit. But don't linger. Please don't linger. Be at the top of your game, on top of the turf, and away you go. And if you give everything you give, you'll give right. And for sure, the best team will win. That's what will happen. The best team will win. So we need to be the best team. That's for sure.
Bob,
well, I'm just reiterating what Linda's saying. She's exactly right. We're just going to go here, do our best, try her. It's a big ask. We know that. It's a huge ask in front of all them at that place. But let's get up a show of defiance. We are Rangers. We're no Kilmarnock or Hearts or Ayr United. Just get out here, get the sleeves rolled up and get in about them. It's as basic as that. Never mind tactics. Never mind tactics. It doesn't come into it in the equation in that game. Just get out here, get the sleeves rolled up, get in about them, because I've said it for years, they're nothing great. They're beatable. Definitely beatable. I'm not going to quote their squad. You know them all. They are definitely beatable. And if you've got the right attitude, as you say, against them, you can beat them. And see if you do beat them, they'll all need a new set of underpants at that place on Sunday morning, because they probably wait that long to change them, but never mind. So come on, the Rangers, get a bit of grit between your teeth and get in about it, because they are beatable. It's been proved.
Aye. Yeah. It's all about attitude, that game. Linda, right attitude.
Yeah, Oxford, and I think, you know, the manager, he shouldn't have to motivate them, you know, because they've got everything to play for. But we don't want to talk about comments and certain people shouting their mouths off, right? But that should just motivate them a bit more as well. They shouldn't need motivation. I keep repeating myself with that. But you would just like to be able to go there and put in a performance and prove a lot of people wrong. Because the players do know what's said in the media. They know what's going on in social media. They read everything. They do. So they've been written off. So I know we've asked this a few times of them, particularly over this season, is go and actually prove people wrong. And as I said earlier, if you can go and get a victory, it would set up a really interesting last two games, Ox. But it will take a real improvement in the way that they've been playing. But I don't think anybody's under any illusions about how difficult it's going to be, Oxter.
If you take their last three games in isolation, semi-final Hearts 2-0 away to St Mirren 2-1, and then one had beaten Kilmarnock 4-1. That form's all right, but if you take it back 5, 6, 7, 8 games, it ain't great.
Yeah.
But hopefully a bit of confidence comes out of the Sunday's game, Bridge.
It's a big test. It's a huge test for us as a club and as a team. A massive, massive test. And look, we know we're way, way, way below quality. A huge chunk of our first team just aren't there. And the other chunk aren't in form. Fortunately, we've got one of the best goalkeepers in the country, certainly the best goalkeeper in Scotland, but I think he's a superb goalkeeper and he's kept us in the game sometimes, and I hope he's in form. We're well used to having good goalkeepers, I must say. But really and truly, we need to do it. We need to do it as a club and as a team. We can't afford, we just can't afford all the silliness that's been going on in our games. They can't afford it. They're going to be running it as 100 mile an hour, as they normally do anyway, and we should be running at them 100 mile an hour as well.
The bottom line for me is, anyway, we're doing it, but the bottom line is we have to take their chances. Do you think there could be a surprise, Linda? Do you think there's any chance that somebody like Seema could appear maybe on the bench?
I mean, the manager was saying that he was hoping to have him back, before the end of the season. Whether or not he's meaning, I don't know, is he talking maybe the last league game and maybe the Scottish Cup final? If it's a hamstring, is that 2 weeks he's been out now? Just our luck with injuries, we never seem to get players back as quickly, as we would like, obviously. It would be really great if we could get a bit of pace up front, Ox. It really would, on either flank. Because the thing about their defence is that they don't like that. They're quite happy to do battle, perhaps with maybe a Dessers or somebody who's not that quick. But if you actually get in about them and get them turning, I don't think they're any great shakes. But it's whether or not we can get our players that can hurt them on the ball in the final third. Because defensively, I mean, they're not as good as us when you look at the goals conceded. It's just that they score more.
Anyway, the manager's this is where he earns his money, Bob Cherry. He does a puzzle and he picks
that's
people
exactly
up.
right. That's exactly right. That's where he earns his money, the man. As far as I'm concerned, overall this season, the man has done very, very well. The one thing we can say, everybody, is that we've gave them a run for their money this year. We've got it down to 90 minutes on Saturday. And they've never been in a position like that for years. It's always been a comfortable hurl to the league for them. But this year it's not so comfortable. They maybe feel it on Saturday, they're a certain time. No, they're no. No, they're no. If I played at that level, I'll tell you something. If I played at that level and played for Rangers, I would go out there and see all them and sing, "You'll Never Alone." Right? That would inspire me. Inspire me the greatest heights I've ever been at as a player to get in about them. Would inspire me. So I hope the boys have got that attitude on Saturday. Get out there in total defiance of this. Because, like I say, if I've got Seema fit, he can turn catcher knickers, no bother. Sorry, Linda.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote that song, Rodgers and Ham. Was it Rodgers and Hammerstein?
Did they have Rangers in mind?
No. Just if they knew your history, we see the background of the two upstanding individuals. They don't do irony of that ball.
Love it.
Anyway, the manager, Linda, this is him. He's picked him up, sort us out, see where he takes us, get us organised, get a game plan, motivated, and then it's down to the players.
Yeah, he'll be walking in there. He'll be standing tall because Clement, he's not frightened of anything. I think he was like that as a player, and whatever people think about what he's had to say, he stood up for himself and he stood up for the club in the media, and he's reacted to questions, and there's no way that he wouldn't answer those questions, Ox. So I don't think he won't shirk that. He'll be relishing going there. He says he is. And you just hope he can get the players. And it is a wee bit about belief. If you're in a squad and you're in a team and you're looking at the stand and you've got a lot of your best players that are injured, Ox, it would have a wee bit of an effect on you. It's ridiculous that we've got all these injuries, and we've got, as Brad said there, we've got a whole load of people that he can't even pick. That can affect you as a team. But I just hope that they can just get themselves up for the game and don't go out in a whimper, go out fighting and actually try and get the first goal and put them under a bit of pressure, as I said earlier there. I just want to see us getting our sleeves rolled up, Ox, and get stuck in.
Leave everything on the pitch, Bridge. Leave everything on the pitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got to go, in my opinion, they've got to go there and they're going to, in their mind, they're going to play a full 90 minutes. Every single player is going to play 90 minutes of football, and it's going to be at a tremendous pace. In general, it's a tremendous pace, and they've got to feel in their mind that they're up for it. They're up for the pace, and they've got man-to-man battles to take care of, and they've got to win them. So if we all go out there and do the right thing and win our man-to-man battles, then we'll do well. We'll do well. But if you don't, and you let yourself down at all, like we did at the weekend there, within 5 minutes they've got a goal from absolutely nowhere. One lucky long ball in the air box. One lucky long ball. But of course, there have been a few mistakes just before that that's led to the ball going into the box, and a blunder by our captain, in my opinion. I think I did say this, I think he's decided that he's made a shout to the goalkeeper, I'll get it, or worse to that effect, and misjudged it, and the guy was standing behind him, and that's what caused it all. That's my opinion. But we don't want any of that. We don't want any of that.
Obviously, Tav doesn't look great, but when the crosses come in, I think his Butland's made an absolute pig's ear of Linda. I thought it was your cardboard cutout.
Aye, I don't think you can defend the goalkeeper there in that situation. I don't know why he never came for it. As I said earlier, Oxy, that's the sort of thing that Jack was doing, and during the season there, he was coming for those cross balls, and we were all delighted because Alan McGregor wasn't coming off his line at all. So, it's just, he's human, but I would have rather he had just come and collected it. That's what we expect from him.
Talking about Linda's cardboard cutouts, Bob J, I noticed it was Graham Souness's birthday today, so many happy returns to Graham Souness.
Aye, many happy returns to the man. Indeed. He did well for us, but he had the money, he had the walk in the history, he had the financial backup. Good luck, Mr. Souness. You wouldn't have a cardboard cutout of me anyway, you wouldn't have cardboard for that nose of mine. Still, never mind. You could probably get it in the door sideways. But, aye. Yeah, I agree with you, Linda.
I'm glad you said nose, Bob J. I'm glad you said nose.
Oh, well, that I know. Aye. Maybe at one time you could balance 13 budgies on it. The 14th you can stand on one leg, but then again. That's when I was the only knickers I ever got flung at me was my old granny's bloomers sitting on the washing line. Seriously, I agree with you, Linda. The ball was in the air a long time yesterday, and Butland decided not to come for it. They would have gave up on that because he didn't shoot us above them all and caught that ball and threw it back into play, no problem. And he created a state of confusion that ended up our own goal. I just hope he's right on his game here on Saturday. He's got to be. He's going to have to be, just like everybody, like we keep saying on the show tonight. There are still a determination about us tonight, troops. It's got to be carried on to the park on Saturday with the squad. Come on, the Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate to sign off, folks. I'm doing the war here with the dog, and he's getting a bit impatient.
All right, cheers, Bob. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Good luck to you. I'll hear from you later on the week, yeah?
Cheers, Bob. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good night, pal.
Aye. I don't know, crack that story about the 13 budgies again, but there we go. Still praise at all, Bob. Right, okay. Right. I think he's right when he's saying, come on, the players, he's wanting the players to respond, and they want them to care and feel what we're feeling, Linda.
Yeah, and with the way that the Old Firm games are, with the no fans, and the obviously in the stadium, the no away fans, but they've come to our stadium and managed to do all right at times, Ox, and that's another matter that needs to be addressed, going forward. But the players, that they're used to playing in hostile atmospheres when they go and play European games, albeit there's always Gers fans there. But you've the motivation's there for them. They shouldn't need to be, that shouldn't, the manager shouldn't need to say too much. But he will try and get them up for it. I just think that it's all there for them. They know what they need to do. We do need to win the game, and it's there for them. And you just hope that they can stand up. And do you know what, Ox? They'll be proving a lot of people wrong, probably including Rangers fans as well.
Aye, we've all been critical. We've all been critical because of the 3 losses.
Yeah.
If we had beat Ross County, Motherwell, and the day that I know it's if buts and maybes over a season, but if we'd have won the 3 league games recently, and you've got to remember 2 of the teams finished in the bottom of the league, the bottom 6 of the league. If we'd have took the 8 points, we'd have been delighted yesterday. We're up 4-1 win. We wouldn't have cared what happened, yeah.
No, absolutely, Ox. It wouldn't have mattered whether it was 1-0, 4-0, 5-0. It was all there. It was in our own hands. And as I said earlier, that you're right when you said that, you can't look back. But if we end up, we don't go on to win the league, there's those games. There'll be a lot of regret around them. The start of the season didn't help, but that was all well gone. It was how we had clawed ourselves back into it. And that'll be the biggest regret. However, there's still the weekend, and let's hope that they can go and do it.
Bridgman.
Oh, I hear Linda. Here. 100%. Sometimes you don't know what to say. Sometimes it's just crazy, the whole thing. But my heart's telling me that we've got a great chance, and if the manager lays it on the line to all the players, then I'm positive sure we're going to get a really good response. We've got four games to the rest of the season, and in among those 4 games is a double. We could win league and trophy, league and cup, against the same teams basically. So the same team now. So that's got to happen. We've got to get it into our mind, and we're going to. We're going to at the weekend. We're going to a fortress. They've got their own fortress, and it's going to be hell for any supporters that are there. It's going to be big. I don't know if any Rangers fans are there this season, but it's just going to be hell for everybody. It's Rangers, but our hearts are with them all the way.
Right. Okay. Last word for your good self, Linda.
Yeah, great show, Ox. Enjoyed being on with Bridgeman and your good self. Some great discussions talking about our beloved team, and Good luck to Rangers at the weekend, and if we can go out and get a victory, Ox, just imagine how good we'll all feel after that. So 3 points, Rangers, please, and good night, everyone.
Yeah, Bridgman.
Oh, can I just say, Ox, there, what a great show. Absolutely brilliant. Great discussions, and of course the summing up of some of the stuff was excellent. I thought you did very well tonight. And thank you very much, Linda, for carrying me through it. And a big shout out to the techie boys in the background and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. This weekend is going to be 100% massive, but there's still a build-up over the week to the weekend. So everybody, in your thoughts, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, and so do they. They need us. Keep it going.
Yeah, here's hot off the press. Mr. Fox has just ordered 16 budgies, Bridgman. I'll leave that one with you. Anyway, thanks to
That's
Robert for
different
joining
class,
us
by the
earlier
way.
on. Jim on 1-5. Of course, the one and only Bob here. Thanks to Linda and Bridgman for doing the show. Fox for doing the technicals in the background. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Foxy boy.